This is the reason why you concede so many goals. You don't know how to intercept the ball. That is right. Right now you might think that intercepting the ball is as simple as pressing L2, R2 and standing in front of the passing lane. There is way more to it. I realized this when I was running around like a headless chicken, not being able to intercept the ball consistently being the key word. People were switching sides on me constantly. Against good players, it was hard to intercept the ball. That is when I came across a pro versus pro gameplay. Anders versus Bonano. This is the match which I saw and it changed my perspective. Just see how he is able to cover more than one passing lane at one time. He is able to cover 3 to 4 players. Because he is able to do it, he even puts one of the very best players in the world, Anders Wehrgang, under pressure. And this is what I learned. And I'm going to show you that today. So the first step to intercept the ball correctly is to right stick switch properly. But that goes without saying, right? Secondly, we have to know that there isn't a definitive way of intercepting the ball. No matter what someone tells you, there isn't a definitive way. You cannot press L2, you cannot press L2, R2, you cannot use R2. There is a situation for all these buttons, and after watching this video you will be exactly able to know when you have to press L2, when you have to press L2 R2, and when you have to just use the R2 button, because all of these mechanics are very important when we talk about intercepting the ball. Now we have a good understanding regarding the fundamentals of intercepting the ball on FC24. So let's focus on these clips and break them down, as they contain the knowledge which you need to know in order to take your game to the next level. First thing to keep in mind is to know that there is more than one attacking option available for the opponent. Once we know that, we are not tunnel vision on one player, because see, you guys see one player running in behind, then you are tunnel visioned on him. You forget that there are 10 other players who he can play the ball towards. So we have to prioritize between switching. Okay, first priority is to mark the dangerous run. That is always the run in behind. But do not be tunnel vision on it. What do I mean by that? Pay attention on this clip, right? What is he doing? See, Messi is running. So with Rio Ferdinand, we are blocking this passing lane with L2 and R2. Now, why am I using L2 and R2 and not L2 only or R2 only? Because I am already in my position. So when you are in your position like this and you don't need to cover a lot of ground, you want to use L2 and R2. It gives you better control as compared to just sprinting. So see, we are able to mark Messi. Once we mark Messi, now we are applying pressure. Next up, we see, okay, he can recycle the ball, right? So you have to prioritize and switch off of your player quickly. What do? We switch off. Then we realize that, okay, he can pass the ball into Mia Hamm. So what do? We switch to our center back and we try to step in front of him. You see how we have to focus on more than one passing option, especially when you're playing against good players. So now look at this clip. Haaland is running. The first rule is to mark the dangerous run. We are doing that. Then we are in shape, we are using L2 and R2. We are dropping back, right? So the rule behind interceptions is to use L2 and R2 when you are in position. You have to develop the understanding of the game, because if you do not develop the understanding, you will suffer. In this instance, our first reaction was to cover his strikers, because if we do not mark his strikers and he plays the ball on top of the box to his strikers, then it is a 1 versus 1 situation which will end up badly. Defending one-on-ones is hard. So we have to accept that. And our aim should be to always win the ball outside of our box. That should be our aim. And we can only do it if we intercept the ball correctly. At this moment, you can see we have surrounded his Messi and we are only using the sprint button. You might ask why. We are using the sprint button because see, he has no passing option. Haaland is running, yes, but then we have our left back to mark him. So we need to apply pressure. When you want to apply direct pressure, in these sort of areas, you want to use R2 button. So that would be mainly when the opponent is building up from his own half. Once we see that there is danger, we switch L2 and R2. Now we are running back, right? So when you get close, we use L2 to step up. Just L2 to step up is the best thing. See over here, again, we were using L2 and R2, and now we are running like this. Why are we running like this? Because this recycle is available. We have the situational awareness to know that recycles are overpowered. We want to cover it. If he goes down, we can still recover with Kashuai. That is why I say situational awareness is important. So see, L2 R2 again, only L2 because we are so close. L2 R2 again, R1, right? See, wait for the opportunity. We have to wait for the opportunity. And moving the goalkeeper is also must, but that is another topic, right? See, once again, go in the wings only using R1 and R2. Why? Same concept applies. We are applying pressure. When you want to apply direct pressure, you want to use R2 to cover ground. What is the R2 button and what does it do? R2 is sprint button. So when we are sprinting to the highest possible speed, that means we are covering more ground in less time. That goes without saying. So whenever you want to cover more ground and apply pressure, you use R2. When you are in position, you use L2, R2. But this game isn't about buttons, man. This game is about the mind. You have to develop situational awareness. You want to be able to do all of these things without thinking. And the fundamental aspect is the right stick switching. I am using 3 at right stick switching, right? See, once again, applying pressure and always marking the most dangerous pass. That is the first priority. Then applying pressure. You see how I switch between 3 players at one time? This is what you want to do as well. Otherwise, you will never be able to take your defense to the next level. Now, in order to master right stick switching, I want you to check this video out here.